Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Welcome to the reading lesson for the 5th week. This week you will learn on summarizing. Before we begin, here are the learning objectives for this week's lesson. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to explain by compare and contrast information in text. Second, students should be able to select and summarize main ideas and supporting details in short passages. And lastly, students should be able to use prescribed word lists to expand vocabulary. In the previous week, you have learned about paraphrasing, right? So let's recap on what you have learned on paraphrasing. To paraphrase is to include ideas or information from an original source in your work by restating those ideas or information in your own words. Second, you must make sure to retain the original meaning. And then you must make sure that your answer is about the same length as the original passage. And then your answer must involve the change of structure and the words used. And lastly, you must know that in order for you to paraphrase is to avoid plagiarism. These are the tips for you on how to paraphrase effectively. First, you must make sure to use different vocabulary with the same meaning. Second, you must make sure to change the word order. Next, you must make sure to change the form of the words. And lastly, you must make sure to change from active to passive sentence. Now, as you have learned about paraphrasing based on the previous lesson and this week's lesson on summarizing, both are taking ideas, words and phrases from a source. Afterwards, you need to craft them into new sentences, and in your writing, always remember to give credit to the author. Okay, let's look at a little bit on what the summarizing is about. This is compared to paraphrasing, where you need to write in your own words, and in writing your answer, you must keep the answer at the same length as the original sentence. However, for summarizing, you need to write your answer shorter than the original source, and you still need to write in your own words. Alright, let's look deeper into the whole idea of summarizing. A summary is an overview of the main ideas, concepts or facts of a text. The main idea is given, but details and examples are left out. This is a much shorter version of the original writing. So when you summarize and paraphrase too, please make sure to change the words and the structure. And you must make sure the meaning is the same, and always make sure to keep the degree of certainty of the writer. So it means here you must not forget to mention the author's name in your answer. A summary should be a complete sentence which covers all the main points, and you must make sure that your answer is concise. This is to avoid repetition. And then make sure that your answer is coherent, whereby you must make sure that your answer in logical sequence and makes sense with other sentences. And you must write in your own words. And always remember to give reference to the original source of the material. Here are a few steps for summarizing. First, you need to skim the text and take note of subheadings, first and last paragraphs, as well as the topic sentences. And then make sure to read the text carefully with the help of dictionary. And you can always reread difficult text for several times, and always remember to write notes in point form by using the keywords and also ideas. The next step is put your text away and start writing your summary. And then always remember to refer back to the original text to make sure it reflects the same meaning. And do not forget to use in-text reference at the start of your answer or at the end of your summary. Before we move forward to look at the example, let's recap on what you have learned earlier about summarizing. First, you need to skim the text and then read the text, and you can always reread the text in case that you find the text is a little bit difficult for you to understand, and then it is advisable for you to take some notes, and please put the text away while start writing your summary, and always refer back to the text in order to retain the same meaning, and don't forget to mention or to write in text reference in your answer. Okay, so make sure your summary is shorter than the original text, and then always remember to retain the same meaning, and take only the main points and leave the details and example. So this is to make sure that your answer is shorter than the original text. Alright, let us look at this and follow the steps that you have learned earlier. So this is the original passage. The amphibia, which is the animal class to which our frogs and toads belong, were the first animals to crawl from the sea and inhabit the earth according to TED 2013. Alright, so these are some of the words that you need to focus on this original passage. And then this is the summarized version. The first animals to leave the sea and live on dry land were the amphibia according to TED 2013. Alright, the first animals here, so we take the same words and then bring it to the beginning of the sentence. And then crawl from the sea, then we change to leave the sea. And then inhabit the earth, okay, we change to live on dry land. And then the last one is the amphibia. We still take the original words and then bring them to the end of the sentence. And then please don't forget to mention the author's name in your summary. Alright, now let us look at this example of the original sentence. The movement towards education by computer is developing fast. Massive open online courses called MOOCs are changing how people learn in many places. For years, people could receive study materials from colleges or universities and take part in online classes, but such classes were not designed for many thousands of students at one time as MOOCs are. According to MOOCs are moving forward, Voice of America, learningenglish.voanews.com. Now let us look at the sample answer for the earlier passage. For summary A, computer education is growing fast. MOOCs are influencing how we study. People receive materials from universities for a long time to be able to take classes online. MOOCs are the only ones thousands can take at a time, according to Voice of America. Alright, next is summary B. A fast-growing MOOCs movement allows thousands to take online classes at once, changing how we learn, according to Voice of America. So for summary A, this one is considered as less appropriate because the answer is almost as long as the original text, which is a characteristic of a paraphrase, whereby a summary needs to be concise. And then for summary B, this one is the most appropriate one because it keeps the original main idea and it is much shorter than the original text. Alright, let us have a look at this. Time management is an important skill that all students should develop. Daily and weekly timetables are two excellent ways to plan a study program. Students can use them to manage their studies and set themselves study goals. A great amount of time can then be set aside for activities such as sports and other social commitments. Apart from that, proper time management helps students to prioritize. By doing this, they will be able to concentrate on the more urgent tasks first before moving on to the next. Moreover, if time has been allocated for specific purposes, it is easier to cope with unforeseen circumstances such as emergencies, visitors, and invitations, according to Nandan T. Crucial Management 2003. Now, let us try to analyze the text based on the main idea that we can derive from the text. And then we also need to find the supporting details from the text. Now, what can be derived from the text? First is the main idea. Time management is an important skill. And then the next one is the first supporting detail, manage their studies. Second supporting detail is social commitments. The third supporting detail is help students to prioritize. And the last supporting detail is cope with unforeseen. So when we put everything into one complete summary, so the main idea that we derive from the text is time management is crucial. And then these are the supporting details that we derive from the text. And then as you notice, we do not take them word by word. Now let's write the summary together. According to Nandan 2003, effective time management allows students to organize their time to complete their study requirements. It also enables students to juggle their tasks and assignments. And finally, proper time management helps students to effectively handle unexpected situations. So, according to Nandan 2003 is the reference taken from the original passage. Effective time management is the main idea, and then followed by the first supporting detail, juggle their tasks and assignments. The second supporting detail, complete their study requirements. And the third supporting detail is to effectively handle unexpected situations. So, as you notice, points have been paraphrased and restructured. Now, let's look at the complete summary based on the original passage just now. Effective time management allows students to organize their time to complete their study requirements. It also enables students to juggle their tasks and assignments. And finally, proper time management helps students to effectively handle unexpected situations according to Nandan 2003. So as you notice, okay, we have taken the main idea and the three supporting details, and we do not forget to mention the author's name at the end of the paragraph. Before we end our reading lesson for this week and right after watching this video, it is time for a quick quiz to check your understanding of the lesson you have learned this week. First, you need to use your phone and scan the QR code. The code will bring you directly to the Google form, and you need to follow the instructions given in the Google form. And finally, you need to answer all questions. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. I will see you again in the next lesson.